Bitcoin is not looking particularly good, but there are some signs on this chart that nobody is talking about, and I'm going to be going through them with you in this YouTube video. But before we get there, let's break down what's actually happened here. So the last time I was talking to you guys, I was saying that if we fall down here, this is where we'd be in potentially really big trouble. And you know, look, I am going to get to some things that no one's talking about that are bullish, but let's not, you know, I'm not going to try and fuck around with you guys. Like, this is not a good chart overall. And the main reason I'm saying that, guys, is if we actually kind of zoom out and we look at this low right here, guys, take a look at this, right? So this was our prior swing low. This was our market cycle low, basically, and we hit it again just earlier today. So that's not a particularly surprising thing, given that we lost support here. Now, that's what I was hoping for, is that we wouldn't lose support in the 19K range, but unfortunately we did. So it was a very quick drop down to 17.6. We did find support there, but ever since we've fallen down here, guys, Bitcoin hasn't been able to get back above into that 19K range, right? Take a look at this. If we zoom in even further onto the 15-minute time frame, we can get a really good view of what actually happened. Even further, actually, let's do 5 minutes. You can get a really good view of what happened here, guys, where Bitcoin kind of consolidated down at this 18.5K level, but it didn't last long. That floor dropped. We fell right down to that swing low at 17.6. Not surprising at all. This is exactly what I said would happen in the previous video if we lose that 19K support range, which is exactly what happened. But then, guys, we did something really bad, which is we came back up and found a little bit of resistance twice. We came back up twice, guys, and found resistance here, which means that bulls tried to make 2 separate attempts at breaking back up into this range, but both of these attempts failed, and we're now potentially getting ready to revisit these lows. And you know, when we're in an aggressive downtrend, you know, one of the key characteristics we might display, and it's most likely to happen, you know, within quick succession of each other, is we'll set a low, retest the highs, see if we can break out. If we can't break out and get rejected, we'll come back down to that low, and this low will get penetrated and we'll drop down deeper. Like, that's usually how it happens. So if this doesn't end up happening by, I don't know, let's say like the next 3-4 hours, you know, you'll know this by the time you're watching this video, but if this doesn't happen very soon, I think we might be good just for now in terms of this support area, but it is at the moment looking like a very typical setup before the market does end up setting new lows. And I was saying this in my previous video, guys, I'm not optimistic about this support level holding. You know, 17.6 just isn't a good support level in my opinion. It never was, and I can't expect it to be a good support level now. And you know, the thing that could get really bad for this market is that if we do end up coming back up and on a more macro scale getting a retest of this area as resistance, it doesn't have to be this far out, you know, like 10 days later. It could literally just be, you know, a week later, right? This would be basically like 6 days later from now, or even 2 or 3 days later would be enough, you know, for this to look like quite a genuine kind of back test. Because what we have now, guys, if we take a slightly more naked chart, you know, something that I haven't drawn many things on, I'll actually just go ahead and remove every line on this chart now. You know, what we do have is that a lot of trading has taken place basically around this kind of box right here. You know, and this is, again, that's the 19K range. It's like 18.8 up to 19.5. 19.5 is probably the key level, like the most important level in this whole range. It's probably worth having a line right here. You know, and so now that we're kind of below all of this, you know, one can only expect that this could end up acting as resistance, and that's where I think a lot of problems could come in. And if we start to look at our key indicators like the Ichimoku cloud, we've got resistance developing here. If we look at the EMA ribbon, it's actually pretty close to us. So if we spike back up into this range, there's a lot of resistance waiting for us. No surprises there, not only with momentum but also with horizontal resistance. This is a fucking horrible video so far. Just wait until I get to the good stuff, guys. 4-hour time frame, EMA ribbon very far away. Generally the price and the EMA ribbon, when they're far away, they're going to move together and meet. It's just what happens. So you know, some sort of bounce definitely on the cards. Not saying it's going to happen, but that would definitely make sense given what has happened before. If we take a look at the Ichimoku cloud on the 4-hour time frame, it's just now starting to develop into resistance as well. So this was a very quick shake-up in the market. You know, obviously it's down to that FTX news that you guys heard about. You know, not only was FTX kind of coming out as being insolvent over these last few days, but Binance then announced that they're intending to buy FTX. Not that they actually will, but that they're intending to do so. So I think this is important. If they don't, things could get pretty bad for FTX. It already is pretty bad. If you look at their token, it was trading at about $25. I mean, a few days ago, like 3 days ago, guys, really not that long at all. And now we're down to $4. So, I mean, this is an overnight death. FTX just got lunared basically. And it got Celsius as well. Just fried in one day basically. It dropped by 75%, I think, on this candle right here. Let me just double check that. Yeah, about 75% on this candle, and then today's candle has been another like 25% drop. So obviously it can keep dropping down infinitely, as it gets closer to zero, but it's not looking too good from this perspective. But something that I think people aren't considering, and this might blow your mind a little bit, is if we switch this onto the logarithmic chart, and we look at where FTX is now. Let's just trace this back. If we trace this back to when FTX was trading here last, this puts us in December 2020 levels. So that might, I don't know what that sounds like to you. I'm actually curious to know. Can you just pause the video here and let me know what you think about this? Because the next thing I'm gonna say is really gonna put a lot of this into perspective. So just let me know, guys. Do you like what do you think about this? I don't even want to feed anything in your mouth. Just tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. While you're down there, hit up that like button. You know the deal. So we're back to December 2020 levels, and if I just overlay Bitcoin on top of this, you're gonna see something really interesting, guys. You're gonna see something really interesting. If we take a look at where Bitcoin is, and we just kind of use a horizontal line, to draw where Bitcoin was. Now and previously, I mean, we're basically back in December 2020. Like, Bitcoin has retraced all the way back down to December 2020 levels, but it had already done that as early as June this year. FTX has only done it now. So FTX took a lot longer to retrace down to the same time-based levels. Now, obviously, FTX dropped harder by percent, right? I mean, if we measure FTX's drop from its high to its current price, it's down by 95%. And if we measure Bitcoin's drop, okay, I can't do this because I'm on the wrong chart, but Bitcoin's dropped by about, I don't know, 80% or something, 85, something like that. And that, it might not sound like a big difference, but every additional percentage point you lose when you're basically like below, I mean, it gets exponentially crazier, but let's say like below 70% lost, every additional percentage point lost is a huge difference, especially as you get closer to 99%. So while FTX has gotten absolutely fucking destroyed price wise, if we just look at where it was trading before, this should offer a little bit of perspective. And while we're offering perspective, the next thing I want to show you is the dollar. The dollar has continued to slide lower. Now, this hasn't actually had a bullish impact on Bitcoin, but we are looking at a situation here where the dollar has set a brand new low. So this is something that I was talking to you guys about that I was expecting to see, and this would have most likely had a really good impact on the Bitcoin market if this FTX news didn't happen. This is just one of those wild cards where we're in crypto and completely unpredictable, unfair things like this can and will happen. And you know what? I mean, you can be upset about it, but it's part of the game. And it's one of the reasons that trading crypto is as profitable as it is, because crazy shit like this still happens. Crypto is just like this, whether you like it or not. If you can't tolerate this, if you can't bear this, if it's too much for you, if it's stressful for you, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. It's not good for you. You're going to lose your money. Don't do it. Take your money out and go back to normal life, because this ain't for you. But if you kind of see these things and you get excited, and I'm definitely excited. I might not look like it right now, but I'm definitely excited by this kind of thing. Then cool. You might have a good time, and you might even make some money here. Here's the thing. The dollar has continued to slide lower, and the S&P 500, for example, has continued to respond well to that. if we look at the way the S&P 500 has moved, it's really retraced a lot of this drop, right? The S&P 500 a little bit of a drop right here. We've retraced most of that, and we're really approaching that resistance level, but we're doing it in good time. You know, I mean, we're not doing it too quickly. We're not doing it too slowly. It's been about 5 days. We're up by 4%. Guys, I really like this. I honestly think that this is a really nice setup for the market, potentially getting up to that resistance area. And again, usually this would have a good impact on Bitcoin, but right now there's so much fear in the Bitcoin market that Bitcoin is kind of decoupled from the S&P 500. Obviously not in the direction we wanted, but the dollar being in this position right here, I think is great for you know, speculative traders. Eventually this fear for Bitcoin is going to go. It always goes, right? I mean, there's always, especially because it's fear, it's an emotion, and emotions are fleeting. Emotions dissipate. You know, so because of that, I firmly believe that eventually this kind of tension around Bitcoin is going to go and dissipate and fizzle out, just like it did with Celsius and Luna. You know, you don't really talk about them every day anymore. And when that happens, the dollar is probably still going to be in a downtrend, because the dollar has proven now for quite a long period of time now, 42 days, that we are still setting lower highs and lower lows. All right, we've got two lower lows and 2 lower highs now, with 3 highs and 3 lows in total. Pardon me. And because of that, I'm very, very confident that that the dollar is potentially going to keep trending lower. And if we look at this on a larger time frame, you know, it still has quite a bit that it could potentially retrace by. Now, if it's going to stay in a very aggressive upward trajectory, then this is probably enough. Like, what we've had up to this point is probably enough. But if we're gonna get a more realistic cool down right here, you know, well, there's a long way that this thing can drop. You know, 104, 103, 102. You know, quite low levels compared to where we are right now. A solid, like, kind of, you know, 6% loss potentially, 6-7% loss for the dollar on the cards here on this index. And I think that because we've, again, reconfirmed that we're in a downtrend, I mean, it's hard to deny it at this point, right? I mean, we are setting quite clear lower lows and lower highs. You know, again, I do expect that to be a good thing for these markets. Now, when is this going to start affecting Bitcoin is the question. I mean, you know, Bitcoin's just absolutely shit the bed during this time. You know, obviously we need this overarching kind of fear in the market to dissipate, whether, you know, those people that are fearful capitulate. You know, if they just sell and the price drops really hard, maybe it spikes down. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Or the market just starts trending up somehow. You know, maybe the supply has already been exhausted. You know, I think that's something to keep in mind. You know, the way we're going to tell this is look at this. We're aggressively dumping right now. Right now we're getting back to these lows. You know, the way you can gauge this is you look at how people are talking about the space, and if everybody is getting really bearish and everyone's calling for $10,000 and $6,000 and $3,000 and a 5-year bear market, and just, you know, quite excessively bearish things, whether or not those are accurate predictions, just if everybody is saying it, you know, that's where I think you can start to build a picture that, yeah, we're close to the end. And I'm starting to see a little bit of that. You know, there's not very many people that are actually seeing a silver lining here. Let's be honest, guys, there isn't really one. But there are factors like that dollar thing that I've shown you, like the fact that the S&P 500 is still looking pretty good, like the fact that Bitcoin and FTX are still only at levels that we saw in December 2020. All right, so that's not even 2 years ago yet. You know, that is 23 months ago. You know, for where we are right now, it's not that long ago that Bitcoin was down here. And I think that's a really important thing that, yeah, people are just kind of failing to consider with this market right now. When you start to fail to consider stuff like this, you start making bad decisions, right? So it's absolutely essential to be getting this stuff right. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is Ethereum. Ethereum is in a fairly dangerous position, given that it has not got any support until it gets down to $1,000. If we lose where we are at the moment, we've already kind of lost it. I would say this line was up here, so we're now kind of in this range. You know, dropping down to $1,000 would make sense at this stage. Why is my phone going crazy? Dropping down to $1,000 would make sense at this stage. So, you know, this is something that I want you guys to be keeping an eye on, and it is getting hit in terms of its Bitcoin valuation too. You know, if Ethereum has lost a lot against Bitcoin recently, it's probably going to come back down to the support area at least. You know, and that's great because that means there's a lot of beautiful swing opportunities for coins like Ethereum. So this is something that I do like the look of, and it's something that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. But yeah, we go back to that USD chart for Ethereum, and there is a little bit of a drop here. Potential speculative buy right here. The thing I like about this buy opportunity for Ethereum is that if Ethereum gets down here, Bitcoin probably, I mean, almost definitely would have to be below 17.6, which is the market cycle low. So that might mean a $15,000, $16,000 Bitcoin, you know, for a very quick spike. And if on that quick spike, Ethereum is dragged down, which most likely would be the case as well, I would imagine that Ethereum can fall down here and then quickly recover back up. So this could turn into a really nice trade. And the cool thing that I like about this is that it looks fairly safe as well. You know, this is a pretty clearly defined support area in my opinion. To go long here with a stop loss, I mean, you know, 15% lower, 2x leverage, it's not great, but you know, you don't even need to be that conservative. I mean, I'm not talking about you, obviously. This is something that I would, you know, consider for myself, and it is something I'm considering for myself. I think there's some cool opportunities here, you know, like a 6-7% stop loss, 3x leverage, 4x leverage. You know, it could work out really well, especially if the market does get a bounce. You know, 4x leverage trade on a 23% range is close to 100% profit, you know, so that would mean that I double my money. So that's something that I'm interested in doing. And guys, there's so many cool opportunities available in this market right now to be a trader. If you're looking to trade this market, obviously it's super dangerous. You know, this goes without saying, it's a very dangerous time to be a trader. When isn't it? It's always a dangerous time to be a trader. You know, the difference is some people are going to grab their balls, check if they're there, and then start executing some cool trades, and others won't. If you're one of the former group and you feel like you want to be taking risks in this market and you've made that informed decision by yourself, then BitGet is a great place to do it, guys. BitGet is offering you some really cool bonuses where they're quite easy to earn compared to other exchanges. You can get $400 free with this bonus right here. All you have to do is deposit anything over $4,000 and trade a little bit. You're going to get a bunch of free cash, hundreds of dollars for free, and you can put that into any trade you like, right? So whether that's buying a coin that's dropped down or a leveraged position on Bitcoin or whatever, if you make money with that $400, you get to keep it. And if you lose that $400, it doesn't matter because that wasn't your money anyway. It's free money. You're getting it completely free of charge. So check it out, guys, with BitGet. No KYC, no VPN required. Well worth checking it out at a time like this. And Bybit, if you want an even bigger bonus, is offering you $4,000 in bonuses when you sign up using my link in the description down below. So go ahead and check all of that out if you haven't done so already. While you're down there, guys, I have been trading in this market. My most recent position was closed very close to break even at a 4% loss. My position before that was closed in more than a 50% profit. I closed up to more than a 50% profit, and then the rest of my position was closed at like 30%, so still a very good trade. Here's a VIP member that did substantially better than me. If you want to see everything that goes on with my trading behind the scenes, the steps to join are going to be on screen right here. You're going to find that link in the description to 𝗓𝗡𝗏𝐺𝐿. That's my free Telegram channel. It's where I post my analysis, my insights on my trades and so on, directly from me and my team. And once you're there, you'll be able to click on my name at the bottom of any post inside of 𝗓𝗡𝗏𝐺𝐿 and then send me a message to ask me how to join VIP. It's a very easy process. And once you're inside, guys, you can ask me exactly what you want. It's a direct chat with me. If I can't respond to you because of time zones or whatever, one of my assistants will. And I'm a pretty relaxed trader. You know, hopefully you can gather that from these videos. Yeah, you know, I play the hype game a little bit on YouTube and stuff like that. But, you know, as a trader, I'm pretty relaxed. I'm pretty patient. You know, and I feel like I do pretty well because of that. So if you want to see what that looks like, then you can join VIP by following these steps on screen. And if you're just looking to trade these markets in general and you want a bit of free cash to do that, BitGet and Bybit are giving you some really, really cool offers right now. So they're well worth checking out. But moving back to Ethereum though, like I said, $1,000 potentially on the cards for Ethereum right here. And the interesting question for me is, where would that place Bitcoin? I do think it's quite interesting that while Bitcoin is back down to its lows, Ethereum isn't. And Ethereum still has a little bit to go. But yeah, Bitcoin's really not too happy right now. Look at this. On the 5-minute time frame, we've just been sliding even lower. 1-minute time frame just a few minutes ago, just a minute ago actually, basically came right back down to that low. Look at this. Yeah, pretty aggressive. So guys, what I'm gonna do is make another video on what's going on in I don't know, in the next hours or something, whenever I can make another update for you. So make sure that you're subscribed and you've got the bell icon checked. This is where videos are even more time sensitive than normal. So if you don't have the bell icon checked, and if you're not inside of my free Telegram channel, you might end up missing updates from me, okay, consider if you want to miss updates, but if you don't want to miss updates from me, then the way to guarantee that you won't is by getting inside of this free Telegram channel, because whenever I post a video, I'll tell you guys about it in that Telegram channel, and that update gets pinged straight to your phone. So this is well worth checking out. If you're a trader and you're not on Telegram, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing out on critical information, because a lot of really good players are there. So I'll come back to you guys with an update very soon. If you've enjoyed this one, you know what to do. Head up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.